Welcome to the Steuber Classic Croquet Tournament, February 2022. You're watching the U.S. Rules Division, and this is the semifinal.
Yeah, I just started.
Randy Cardo is playing red and yellow at a handicap of -3, coming in
Everything I say now, I get
with yellow. It's at the National Croquet Center, and Chuck Steuber, after whom the tournament is named, is the guy who got this thing built.
All right. Yeah,
Your tournament director is Carla Rueck, maybe with a little help for Johnny Osborne. Randy came in earlier with red and went to corner 4, so he's about to join up yellow with red.
Great.
His opponent is Doug Grimsley, coming over to check out what kind of rush he has into corner 1, where Grimsley is ensconced with blue and black. These two are very closely matched, very fierce competitors, and the ending of this game is nothing short of remarkable. I strongly recommend that you hang around for the finish and the bonus analysis by Ben Rothman and Howard Sosin of Doug's tactics with the last ball in last turns. Paul Neubecker is your videographer today.
Stop 10:57.
Blue passed.
Black passes. Blue passes.
Notice how there's not a ball anywhere near hoop 2. Intermediate players tend to think of joining up near the hoop they're for in order to get going. For these guys, that's just an invitation to an attack. Randy's wife, Beverly, coming in to show support. She's a -1 handicap in her own right. I wonder what their record against each other is.
10 minutes. 10. Clock will stop.
Black joining back up with blue in corner 1. Both of these players have a handful of national championships to their credit. That big tent set up in front of the clubhouse is for the Croquet Hall of Fame dinner, which happened this weekend, inducting Sharif Abdulwahab, Mohammed Kamal and Jim Bast into the Hall of Fame.
Dead on black. Time. Personal timeout, 6:34. How much time? 7:10. 7 minutes, 10 seconds.
He can't afford to leave even one ball out, so the scatter shot gets both balls out of bounds and incurs no deadness. A croquet out, putting yellow by blue and red next to hoop 2. Probably went through Randy's mind, but it doesn't make any sense because black is sitting by hoop 2 and would pounce on that one. Going intentionally south of black with blue sets up a rush to corner 4 and forces Randy to abandon corner 4.
Beautiful long runs, huh? Beautiful long line runs. They're just gorgeous.
There's no way he meant to put himself in this position.
Put it back.
She's in your way.
Yeah, put it back. Put it back on 17. That's I know, but she got walked right in front of me like.
Down to 46 seconds.
But since it happened, why not?
We're staying pretty close to it.
Oh, okay, okay, so good.
Just taking it out of both claws.
There is no place to hide with these guys. Out of an accidental Roquet, his partner ball in corner 4, Doug splits up the opponent in corner 2, gets 2 hoops out of it, and ends up only dead on 1 opponent ball.
Well, you're vicious.
Howard Sosin looking on. You'll want to be sure to hang around at the end for the analysis that he and Ben Rothman did of the end of this game and what might have been.
It was close, Carol. I almost got you. Next time. Yes.
But I'll be back. I got in front of the wicket and then realized it and said bad words. Yeah.
I was trying to play nice, but that sounded good.
You asked them to block the ball, and they kept on walking in front of it. Like, what are they doing?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I try to be, and every now and then, sometimes you do. I mean, I understand.
I think he's trying to get both of these balls out on a scatter shot here. The disadvantage of a scatter shot, of course, is if you don't get the object ball yellow out of bounds, you're dead on it, and you either have to attack or accept the deadness. And if you don't get the striker ball red out of bounds, it's the spent ball, and you've left it out on the lawn where it's vulnerable to attack. And Doug, smelling blood in the water, is going after it. Black is for 5, blue is for 6, and there was no deadness at the beginning of Doug's turn.
nice shot. Really nice shot.
Even the best players suffer the occasional errant shot, but they always make up for it.
Great shot.
Yes.
Timeout.
He's made the wicket. I just can't see it.
41 minutes. Good. If you rule in his favor,
Plus, he never pays up. He never pays up.
There'll be an even more interesting refereed shot at this hoop at the end of the game. Doug has to be awfully confident that he can make this shot, because if he misses, which he did, yellow now has a laid 4-ball break. And giving that opportunity to Randy Cardo has to be classified as an unforced error for Doug Grimsley, the former baseball player. He was up by 7 hoops, and all he had to do was get out of bounds.
It looks like he overhit it, by the way. In other words, he missed it on the side that he couldn't get to. Right.
That's one of those things you would have told him not to do, right? If you were playing doubles.
I would have said if you're pretty certain. I mean, if you're pretty certain you can get it, go ahead and get it. But if you don't think
It seemed like he really wasn't that certain.
but you notice, I think, when you do that sweep shot, you put spin on it, and I think he overspun it because of it. I mean, so
That's what
it was definitely hittable. It was just the execution. So frankly, I probably wouldn't have talked him out of that one. If I thought he could make it, I have enough confidence that he's capable of executing the shot.
He was open on through. That was enough.
He's
here. He's down there somewhere. Is he doing this?
That's sort of what kind of half roll, I think.
You may want to put black or something. Maybe one of the
Thanks, sir.
You know, Rick's there, right?
Yeah, he does want to move it over. threw it over. Yeah, much did he now?
Stay away.
Looks like a tail.
Got a little tiny bit of Maker's Mark.
I don't care.
Switch to Seagulls.
Ooh, that's that Canadian stuff, man.
Especially knowing last night that somebody called for it, you're going to have one that day. ABC Liquor.
How was the dinner last night? Good?
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought the salad was really well done, actually.
What did it? What was it?
It was just, no, it wasn't a buffet. It was, we were served.
Believe it or not, they actually have a half decent dollar burger. You have dinner here?
Yeah.
$90. So that's
Oh, they were serving some kind of Pinot Noir.
No, I understand. I mean, I know you like good pork.
Yeah.
I got a cab when they came around with ribs.
Was that good?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, you know. You're never going to get good stuff unless they have it. And they have to. I'm going to have one piece.
What is it? You said it's a Bordeaux. It's a Bordeaux?
Yeah, it's decent.
I know you like good wine. And we both use the same pusher now, don't we?
I know, right?
You buy
Called J.E. Enterprises.
Well, you know, I walking in, he said, I registered you know KDH wines. I said, you know what KDH stands for? I said, no. He says, no, Dixon. So, you know, since then, you know, I've gone to wine tastings with him in Manhattan and things like that. And again, I figured if I was going to register under KDH wines, I should have a DBA filed. So, right where I broke down in 6 with all these balls together. Did you come up at an angle? Or?
Yeah. Right in front of it. But it's kind of in the middle of break when I waited for Doug to play through. Kind of breaks your rhythm.
Ouch. Obviously, he wanted more, but that wasn't bad. Off Doug's tactical misstep at hoop 6, Randy went from hoop 2 to 1 back and ended up clean.
Yeah, it was a clip.
That's why I'm thinking, yes, I mean, why would you shoot right? It's as short as this is.
Looks kind of equidistant to me.
Oh, okay.
But my opponent was just doing this. One back.
Remember that red is for hoop 4 and yellow is for 1 back. Needs to hit first the ball he wants to leave behind. And since blue and black don't have any deadness, now would be a good time to make 1 back with yellow.
Well, that's a good question.
I mean, I'm sure probably when it was younger.
That's a good question. I jumped on the answer because I assumed they did. She's just.
what I mean?
I made a bad mistake.
He's setting a break for red at hoop 4. So he's going to come over and see where he can put yellow so that it's wired from blue by hoop 3. And since blue can see the balls on the boundary in corner 2, he can get away with that. And make note of yellow's deadness on blue.
God, that's a shitty attack, though.
I know he's shooting at yellow, but it's not obvious from that. That shot could use a little work. He obviously meant for red to be within 6 feet of yellow. But no worries. He ran an uneventful break from 4 to 3 back, and we pick him up at 3 back. Roquet his pioneer for that hoop. Randy, I'm sorry. I hate to cut out your excellent play, but I got to have folks around for the end of this game. The rule book only requires time announcements at 15 and 1 minute left in the game, and any time a player asks. Convention announces time left when anybody calls a timeout, and there's nothing prohibiting a board keeper from time announcements at 10 and 5 minutes if they want to do that. He's working on his leave, of course. Yellow is for 2 back. Black plays next, so he wants black down there in corner 3 someplace. and he thinks that yellow is clean. Summit Boulevard, just north of that hedge to the right there, seems to attract an awful lot of motorcycle traffic.
Two 12.
I'm sorry I let you guys down and you had to figure out stuff yourself.
That's all right.
What's up?
I'm sorry I let you guys down and didn't have your scores ready in time for you to start to play.
Oh, this one.
Thick sharp hair.
Red is not yet last dead on black, but he will be once he makes a hoop.
No, I know. When he strikes.
It's obvious.
Keep it running. Keep running.
Keep running.
What do you got? Yeah, right up there. Take a timeout.
About 12 seconds.
The on-court deadness board has to be wrong. That was a dead ball fault. Randy didn't realize it. Doug didn't notice it. And just like wrong ball faults and going for the wrong hoop, a dead ball fault is a turn-ending misstep that has to be recognized by the players. An observer noticing that is not allowed to call attention to it either before or after the fact, because those three missteps are turn-ending. Looks like Doug has the feeling that something's not quite right, but the board's probably correct now, and it's been a good 15 minutes since yellow got dead on blue right before red's break from hoop 4 to the peg. And with only 12 seconds left and a substantial lead, Randy just wants to minimize Doug's chances of getting going. That all went by pretty fast. Yellow's down in corner 3, red's in corner 4. Blue came back from the east boundary to give black a rush. Black is last ball in last turns and was probably trying to rush blue toward its hoop, one back. The furniture got in the way, and now he has to do it the hard way, as if the other way wasn't going to be hard enough. He's down by 8. Black can make 6 hoops and peg out for 7, so he'll need 1 peel on blue to tie and force the second round of last turns, or 2 peels on blue to win outright in this turn. And just so you know, what Doug's about to do over the next few minutes is what he's famous for, especially in AC, where it's a lot easier than it is in American rules.
Yeah, got it. Good hit.
Incredible shot, number 1.
Oh.
Question here is whether he'll pay any attention to getting red out on the lawn so that he can use it when he gets back around to 3 back. Red barely moved, so picking it up is going to be difficult. Incredible shot, number 2.
Yeah, he needs 2 peels, right? 1 peel.
Yeah, I think he needs 2 peels and a stakeout to win.
Yeah, 1 peel and a stick.
Incredible shot number 3, and the most incredible of all 3.
That's what, 8 inches in front of the roof? That was nuts.
He made one back, but you can bet your bippy that Randy's going to wait till the last minute to decide which of his balls to clear of deadness. And if he decides red, he can only clear it down to being last dead on black. You can't clear last deadness
Big shot right here.
when the opponent makes one back.
Big shot.
Pay attention. Thinking about my next shot.
Sure.
Make the wicket escape off yellow.
Oh, this shot's critical. Pretty easy to wire with. Might be good. I think so.
Lovely roll shot.
Good enough.
And this situation is a little bit analogous to an AC in a diagonal spread when the opponent puts their ball on the peg. Any place he hits blue on the right side, because it's sticking against the stanchion, it's going to squirt out toward 2 back. He obviously knows that.
You got it.
We'll come back to this point after the game in Ben Rothman and Howard Sosin's analysis of what could have happened. But here, Doug only has 4 hoops left to make. If he's going to get 2 peels on blue and the peg out, he's going to have to pick up red now. If he decides not to pick up red and he's going to finish with 3 balls, then he'll settle for 1 peel on blue and the peg out for the tie, and forcing another round of last turns. Blue goes to pioneer position at 4 back. Black is perfect. Red is in corner 4. He could take off from yellow and pick up red now, but if he were going to do that, he probably would have put blue at 6 in peeling position. Now he needs to position blue by 6 so that he can back peel it after he makes penult. That's not going to be easy, though, because yellow is pretty far out of position, and he needs yellow both to make penult and as an escape ball so he can get to rover after he does the peel on blue.
Does blue have another turn?
No.
Exactly.
He wants to peel blue through 6 here. He'd be just as happy just to jaws it. But what he can't do is jeopardize his rush on yellow to rover. So he's going to abandon the peel attempt here and come back and do it after he makes rover. But that's going to make getting to the peg a little tricky.
No, this was the first ball. Yeah.
Wow, that must be incredible shot number 4 or 5. I've lost track. Now it gets dicey. He's going to set up for a rush peel on blue through 6. That would let him be ball in hand on blue after it goes through 6, and he could take off to the peg for the tie. The rush peel, however, is fraught with uncertainty. Looks like it bounced off the stanchion enough that he can still try to peel it. Maybe, finally, I'm going to get an Aspinall peel on video. Named for Nigel Aspinall. Patty Chapman has the best demonstration of this on YouTube. You just put put in Aspinall peel, Aspinall, and you'll find it. What it means is that blue goes in the jaws, and then black follows and knocks it through the hoop. Usually you do it with an escape ball so that you can keep on going. The problem here, of course, that he's already had yellow. And if he hits yellow on this shot, it's a fault, and his turn is over. And if yellow blocks his path to the peg, he's going to have to do a jump shot over yellow to peg out. This is such an unusual situation that Rich Curtis is going to call for backup. And remember that in both AC and American rules, on a croquet shot, the striker ball is allowed to catch up to and hit the object ball again. You may notice that nobody's marking anything because black is last ball in last turns. So if this doesn't work, the game's over. And this has taken way more than 45 seconds, but it's so cool that nobody cares. Sure looked like it was the second contact of black with blue that put it through the hoop. So yes, it was an Aspinall peel.
Crap, you got the peel. Trouble now is it's kind of one final thing. He misses.
So now all he has to do is peg out the tie. And then Randy has decisions to make. If black hits the peg, that's what the board looks like. The score is tied. Yellow is first in the second set of last turns, and Randy has wisely not taken his one-back clearance yet. Suppose he clears yellow. He roquets blue, takes off and tries to make two back to go up by one, and then blue basically will have to hit red on the east boundary to have any hope. If instead Randy clears red down to last deadness on black, which is not in the game anymore, all he has to do is join up yellow about 3 feet from red so as not to give blue a double, and then when blue misses, all red has to do is tap yellow and take 2 strokes to peg out for the win. However, Doug's probably going to shoot at yellow, take red to 1 back, go up by 1, and then wire red from the peg so that red will have to make a long boundary shot to stay in the game. Which opportunity are you going to give a red-hot Doug Grimsley? Fortunately for you and Randy, Doug cooled off just in time, and Randy takes the semifinal in a truly classic game, 19-18. And now the promised bonus analysis of what could have happened if Doug had decided to play to win in that last turn instead of to tie. I'm just going to narrate what Ben Rothman and Howard Sosin came up with. As we said, Doug needed 2 peels and the peg out to win. So I'll go back to where black was making 2 back.
Thank you very much.
And he's now in this configuration. He'll Croquet blue. And now he has to decide whether he wants to get 2 peels or 1 in this turn. What he did, as you saw in the earlier play, was send blue to pioneer position at 4 back. If he wanted to get 2 peels, he was going to have to set blue up to be peeled after 3 back. So blue would go to 6, black would go to yellow. He would tap yellow, leave it there as an escape ball for after making 3 back, and it would take off to red in the corner. Then the diciest shot of this sequence would be a load and hold, putting red down by 6 and getting in front of 3 back. And red has to be in escape ball position so that after he peels yellow through 6, he can make 4 back off red. We didn't say this was going to be easy. Coming out of 3 back, the roll shot put black behind blue to peel it and put yellow in pioneer position for penult, but also in escape position from 1 back. After the peel, he made 4 back off red, then sent red to pioneer position at rover, Croquet and placed blue in peeling position at 1 back, and then used yellow to get back to penult, carefully leaving yellow in escape position so that after penult he could go back to blue at 1 back, peel blue through 1 back in a death roll that takes black to red at rover. And notice yellow's left behind as insurance in case the 1 back peel fails, and he has to come back and use it to set up a rush on blue or even a bombard to get the peel done in a second attempt. The rest, as they say, is easy. He had plenty of material left to get to the peg and peg out for the win. That's how it could have gone had Doug decided to try to win in that last turn with black. But what really happened was Randy Cardo won the semifinal to get into the final against Jody Rueck, which will be up in a few days. Thanks to Howard and Ben for the bonus analysis. Thanks to you for watching. Subscribe, give us a like. There's more to come.